last five. Where have you seen him, especially recently, become better with this group of steering the ship, getting everybody involved, and running the offense?
He and Pascal are our two leaders, and he led us in the fourth quarter in a big way. He wanted the ball. Their switching was bogging us down, causing problems. He just simply willed his way, to some baskets, hit a huge three. The 2 threes, him and Mathurin back to back, were enormous plays in the fourth. And look, he's taking a tough matchup every night. It was Giddey in Chicago. Tonight it was Levine. It's a pretty thankless job.
You've talked before about needing to see in the situation you guys are in, needing to see having the stars play like stars. I think Siakam, Mathurin, and Nembhard go, I think, for a combined 76.
I don't think I've ever said that phrase. That's not one of my phrases, but.
Okay. I thought you heard you say something like it, but one way or another, those guys scored 76 of your 116 tonight. I know it's not all about stats, but obviously you put those guys in the fourth, and the game changes as well.
Look, those three guys were great. Mathurin's playing really well, and defensively against Chicago, he was real solid and hit huge shots the whole game. Pascal's a guy we take for granted because he just goes out there and he produces great numbers virtually every night. He either takes a tough defensive matchup or he's a really important help guy, and he gets points and rebounds and assists. And, a lot of people dismiss it because that's just what he does, And then, and Nembhard tonight was, really special. So those three guys are our three leaders, really. I mean, this is, and I've talked to the three of them together, a few times in the last week or 10 days. I mean, Ben's in that group now, along with Neesmith and McConnell. Those guys are our veteran leaders. So, listen, this is a tough game. It's great to win it. We got some time to practice this week, so we'll make the best of that, and then more tough games coming.
You talked a little bit in pregame saying that Jairus was going to be ready for this one. What did you like about his response? I guess where did you see growth between what you didn't like on Friday night and what you saw?
I thought he was terrific tonight. I don't think his stats were super gaudy, but 12 points. We needed every single one of those points. He had a huge steal and transition. I don't know how he pulls some of that stuff off. He's just got amazing hands. And look, nights like Chicago is, it's feedback for young players, and his response in practice yesterday was terrific. And I just liked his demeanor and his affect and his tone during the game, and so we need him.
You guys gave away the lead, I think, with about 6 minutes to go, but then, we're much better than them for those final 6 minutes. What did you see Flipper kind of change for that stretch for you guys to close this one?
I think that we were just better, like on both sides of the ball. I think that we've taken responsibility into bigger things, and I feel like we've done a great job for closing the game.
This is the first time in your career you've made 10 threes across 2 games.
First time, and the first time. It's not the first time.
It is.
Is it?
You've gotten 9 like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
What role has improving your jumper played and your scoring this season to you?
Well, I think that just shooting more. I think that I've been able to shoot the ball more, and I mean it's going in. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be days where the ball's not going in, and I feel like recently it has. So pretty much just seeing how it feels. So when it's not here anymore, I know what to get back to.
Drew had 12 assists today. He's had quite a few across the last 5 games for you guys. How have you seen him grow with this group? Because he's had a new role at point guard this year with his passing and kind of organizing for you guys.
He's been better, man. I think that he's had a lot of pressure on his back. Just filling the point guard spot, and I feel like he's been doing a pretty good job so far. So I think we're pretty much looking forward for the rest, the rest of the year and the rest of the season to keep being the same thing.
Just on that note, what do you think? What do you think you and Drew did particularly well in their guards in that last stretch on Russell and Zach? How do you feel like? What did you guys do to kind of lock them up? Yeah.
We're pretty much just playing hard, man. They're both great players, and I feel like me and Drew, we have the ability to pretty much contain the backcourt on the other side, and I feel like we're doing a pretty good job. There's still room for improvement, and I think it's like I said, it's a lot of room for us to grow, and we're looking forward to grow as a duo.
How do you think you guys, I guess as a trio, you, Drew, and Pascal are starting to function together? I mean, that's obviously when the game changes is when you guys check in, more or less. That's kind of the dividing line. I mean, how do you feel like you guys have learned to operate together, set each other up for shots, know when kind of it's each person's time to go get a shot? Like, how is that chemistry coming along?
I just feel like we know each other, pretty well. The more we play together, and that everybody can really get a bucket, between, me, Drew, and Pascal. So just knowing, exactly how we want to get a bucket. Late game, we tend to go more, with P, obviously, because he's been doing that, and so it's pretty much just about knowing and being there for each other.
Well, Rick has started to mention you as a leader. He started to put you in the same category as Drew and Pascal and Aaron and guys like that. Do you see that in yourself, and how do you feel like you're growing in that regard? What are you doing more now in that regard than maybe you have?
I don't know how to take that, but I think I've always been a leader. I think that me being in a bigger role this year, I've been able to show it a little bit more. I think my competitiveness is always something that's going to be unmatched. I think so. I know so. I mean, so I think me bringing that on the good side of things can be very, very like it could be a big of an advantage for the team. For us to be as a team. So I just feel like it's one of my greatest gifts.
Drew, where did you feel the defensive shift for you guys in those final 6 minutes that they couldn't score and you guys put the game away?
I think we just came together a little bit more, executed coverages a little bit better, played a little bit harder, just got the job done.
12 assists for you today. The passing the last 5 games, I think you're averaging about 8 assists in that spin. When it comes to the offense in this group, I know that starting lineup changed again today, but where do you feel yourself, working better with that group or this team in that way, especially setting up your teammates?
Yeah, I think we talk about being more organized on that side of the floor and understanding when to pick our spots in transition and when to find a better shot for the team and move the ball. And I think we've just done a better job with that.
What did those plays from Ethan on the glass, loose balls, mean for you guys?
Huge. He's been playing really well in the last 2 games, just making an impact in a winning way, and whatever that means, if it's catch and shoot and playing hard on defense, loose balls, rebounds. So he's been good.
It's obviously a big part of what changes things in the fourth is when you, Pascal, and Ben check in together. How have you guys come to just create a amount of chemistry among yourselves? I mean, how have you guys grown in terms of understanding each other, especially over the last couple weeks since you and Ben have both been back?
I think me and P have had a good sync, been in sync on that side of the floor for the last couple of years. I mean, just understanding where he wants to get the ball and just both of us being aggressive and finding the right play. And I think we've grown that over time, just experience playing together.
What's it take to work Ben into that, I guess, when you've already got a good chemistry between the two of you, and the way Ben's game works, how do you?
Yeah, I think Ben's best when it comes to him and lets it come to him. I think he can score the ball in a variety of different ways, and he'll find his spots.
Is that a big part of the reason why he shot the ball better from 3 in particular? You've seen obviously a lot of growth from him over there. Is he, I guess, doing a good job of, just taking those shots when they come to him? I guess what's improving there for him?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting older, he's experiencing it more, and probably game slowing down.
What do you feel like he in particular did well on Levine and Westbrook down the stretch? And I guess did you pick up? Seemed like you ended up on Westbrook a few more times. Was that by design or something that just sort of happened in switches?
Yeah, he was playing well, and I knew I could have possibly been matched up with a couple guys tonight. He had it rolling, and
just wanted to be physical and get through those ball screens and make it tough on them.
We've talked about this a little bit before, but what has the defensive assignment, and how has it been just different from you in general? I mean, last year you were, picking up the ball full court most of the time, almost always taking the top defensive assignment, and you're still taking on tough ones. Like, what's changed for you as far as, like, who you pick up, how you defend, how you have to kind of conserve energy when you're, running the point? Like, what's just the defensive challenge? How has that been different for you?
The only thing I think that's been different is the offensive load on top of it, in terms of having to make more plays on that side of the floor. I think I've done a better job the last couple games just taking those matchups personal and trying to win out those types of possessions.